Se laisser plus verbe à l'infinitif. Okay, so se laisser plus verbe à l'infinitif. And actually I wanted to take a little and simple sentence here. Il se laisse coiffer. Okay, so il se laisse coiffer. And well, of course you can spot se laisse here, and this is se laisser, so it's the infinitive, and the second verb that we've got in this sentence is coiffer, and in English it's to do somebody's hair. Okay, so you've got this sentence, il se laisse coiffer, and it looks really strange because you've got the subject here, and then you've got the verb, and then coiffer, and then it means to do somebody's hair. And the clue here is that you can use se laisser actually as une façon d'exprimer le passif. So you can use se laisser as a way to express this passive form that we've got in French. And if you take this sentence, well, clearly you could have it like that. Il accepte d'être coiffé par. And then it's quite clear now because it means that il, with this structure, se laisse, okay, doesn't do the action at all. Okay, so this is the concept of the passive. Remember, the subject doesn't do the action. Okay, so il se laisse coiffer. Okay, and the important thing here is this accepter. Okay, il accepte d'être coiffé. Why? Because se laisser, well, actually, if you want to translate that directly, you can translate it like to let yourself be, or then to let yourself become, or then to let yourself get. This let thing is quite important because we've got also this expression that we saw previously in the previous video, se faire, and then verb at the infinitive form, okay? And it's actually the same concept. You can express this passive form with se faire, okay? But in this case, when you use se faire, you want to give the idea that le sujet est partiellement responsable. So the subject has something to say in a way about what is happening. But when you use this structure se laisser and then the verb at the infinitive form, well, the difference between the two is that in this case, le sujet n'est pas responsable ou résigné. So the subject let the things happen, actually. So the subject is not responsible, or then he is resigned. Okay, so this is the main difference between the two. Okay, even if in both cases they are expressing this passive form, okay, there is this main difference between the two. Se faire, the person is partially responsible, or is, well, the person has something to say about what's happening. Je me laisse inviter. Tu te laisses arrêter. Elle se laisse accompagner. Nous nous laissons insulter. Vous vous laissez escorter. Il se laisse photographier. Je me laisse inviter. So you get the translation of the verb. Tu te laisses arrêter. Elle se laisse accompagner. Nous nous laissons insulter. Vous vous laissez escorter. Il se laisse photographier. So it's actually quite simple if you look at it. You've got the verb se laisser. Okay, it's a regular verb, so for the endings it's not really tricky, especially at the present form here. Okay, so je and then me laisse, and after that you just put the verb at the infinitive. Okay, but of course we've got some tricky things, and when we talk about le passé composé, it will be a bit more difficult. Let's see how it goes. So we'll start with les formes au masculin. Okay, so the masculine. Je me suis laissé inviter. Tu t'es laissé inviter. Il s'est laissé inviter. nous nous sommes laissés inviter, vous vous êtes laissé inviter, ils se sont laissés photographier. Oops, there's a different verb here. Well, it doesn't change anything anyway. So, je me suis laissé inviter, tu t'es laissé inviter, il s'est laissé inviter, nous nous sommes laissés inviter, vous vous êtes laissé inviter, ils se sont laissés photographier. And the important thing, if you have a look at it, is that you don't have any S at the end of your participe passé form here, because normally when we've got a structure like that, and normally when we use être, the participe passé form that comes after should have at the end whether the mark of the feminine with but it's not the cases because we started with the masculine form, or the mark of the plural S at the end. We don't pronounce it, but we should put it. And it's an exception here because with this type of structure, you don't put anything at the end of your participe passé. Okay, so it's quite a good news because it means that it will be always laissé like that. Even if you don't pronounce it, well, you know, in some cases, when you need to put it, well, you need to put it. In that case, you don't need to put it, so it's a good news. And for the feminine form, je me le suis laissé inviter, tu t'es laissé inviter, elle s'est laissé inviter, nous nous sommes laissés inviter, vous vous êtes laissé inviter, elles se sont laissées photographier, so it's coming back this strange one, but then it's exactly the same thing, so keep in mind that for your participe passé form here, so normally, you know, if we would respect the grammatical rules, we should, because we have être, we should put at the end of the participe passé here, the mark of the feminine, e, and then here we should put es at the end, so mark of the feminine, and then mark of the plural, s. But with this structure, you don't need to put the feminine or the plural, so it's a good news. It goes like, je me suis laissé inviter like that. Whether it's the masculine or the feminine, you don't make any difference.